Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Welcome back to our lesson today. We are still on fluid motion, but today we are going to continue our explanation about fluid motion, but in this case, it will be the third part, And I hope this will be our last part, So let's make it fast, because next meeting we have to jump into next topic, Okay. Let's start this lesson with basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, now I want to remind you about our previous topic, in the last session of our previous topic, we already talked, about conservation of mass, and in this kind of principle, let's say I have a customized pipe, So this is the customized pipe, and in the left part or the inlet part of this pipe, it has area of A1, jadi luasnya adalah A1, and in the other hand, on the outlet part, the area is smaller, and we call it with A2. So in this case, A1 is greater than A2, And if I have a fluid, moving from this part into this part, then in point one, let's say this is the first point, and then this is the second point. The point one, the velocity of the fluid in the inlet part, Jadi kecepatan fluida di titik masuknya itu adalah F1, F1, and then F2 for the velocity in the outlet part, And based on our previous discussion, if the velocity of A1, will be lower, than the velocity in the A2, So in this case, we can conclude that the greater area of a pipe, it will impact to lower velocity. Meanwhile, for the smaller area of pipe, for the same fluid, the speed will be higher, Jadi kalau tempat masuknya ini adalah besar, areanya atau luasannya, maka kecepatan di titik satu ini dia akan kecil, Tapi ketika dimampatkan maka kecepatannya akan besar, And in this conservation of mass, in this principle, I mean, the formulation of this relationship will be like this: A1 times V1, V means velocity, will equal to this one, V2. Okay, so this is the formulation of conservation of mass, So this is very simple, And then after this, we also have a principle called conservation of energy, So I will put a parting line here. So conservation of energy. Nah, in this case, in the principle of conservation of energy, the pipe will be like this, Nah, the pipe will be like this, ya. Let's say this is the ground here. Jadi ini ada tanahnya, kemudian pipanya bentuknya seperti ini ya. Jadi dia apa namanya? Ada perbedaan ketinggian gitu ya. The first one, let's say the fluid moving from this is the point 1, and then this is the point 2, and the flow of the fluid is like this, yeah, coming from point 1 and then moves to point 2, ya. Jadi masuk dari 1, kemudian masuknya keluaran dari 2 gitu ya. Nah, and then the point 1 ya has H1 ya. The edge between the middle part of the pipe ya into the ground is H1, and then in this point ya the height of the outlet pipe is H2 ya. Jadi ketinggiannya ya. Jadi ketinggiannya untuk yang I'm sorry. Oops. Wait a moment. Oke, let's continue. Jadi tempat masuk ini ketinggiannya adalah H1, sedangkan tempat keluarnya itu ketinggiannya adalah H2. Nah, dan cara untuk menghitung ketinggian itu dari titik tengah ya. Jadi misalnya ini pipanya, so the pipe is like this, let's say. Ya. Nah, the calculation of height ya can be obtained ya when you measuring the ground until the midpoint of the pipe ya. Jadi di tengah-tengah sini gitu ya. Nah, di tengah-tengah sini gitu ya. Oke. Okay. Nah, in this structure, in this kind of pipe, the in point 1, yeah, because the fluid is moving, so we can conclude that there is a velocity. Ya, jadi karena fluidanya itu bergerak, ya, maka pasti ada kecepatannya. Karena di dunia ini yang bergerak pasti punya kecepatan, gitu ya. Kalau diam, diam pun bahkan memiliki kecepatan. Ya. Kecepatannya adalah 0, gitu ya. Okay. So let's say I put in this point 1 or the inlet pipe, the velocity is F1. Ya. Jadi kecepatannya adalah F1 ya, di tempat masuk. And then in point 2 ya. Nah, the velocity is 2 ya, or second velocity ya. Also in point 1 ya, there is pressure ya. So when you put a pressure meter or maybe a barometer, not barometer ya, a flow meter ya. I mean the tools that you can use to measure pressure of fluid ya. You can put here and you will find that in inlet pipe, the pressure will be P1, and also in the point 2, there will be P2 ya. Oke. Nah, in the conservation of energy, the formulation is like this: P1 plus a half density of fluid times V1 to the power of 2 density of the fluid, and then G is the gravitational acceleration, and then the H1 will equals to P2 plus a half density V2 to the power of 2 plus density G H2 So P is pressure So P1 is pressure in this point, and then P2 is pressure in this point And then rho in this formulation is how to say density, and then G is pressure is in Pascal, and then density is in kilogram per meter cube, and then G is gravitational acceleration, and then the unit is meter per second square, and then H is the height. H ini adalah ketinggian and then the unit is M. Okay, so this one is the conservation of energy. Okay, now let's find some example to be used to understand this kind of principle. So, this one is called Bernoulli equation. This one is called Bernoulli equation. Jadi ini namanya persamaan Bernoulli, gitu ya. This one is the Bernoulli equation. I will put it here. Nah, let's find some. Okay, I think this can be good example for us. Oops. Okay. So this one is for our example. Example of Bernoulli equation. So this one is pipe. And if we put the formula, if we put, if we put all the parameter into the formula, so we get the P1. The P1 is okay. I will make it like this. Okay, P1 is 150,000. So I will put here 100. It will be like this, oh no, it must be 4. It must be 4 10 to the power of 4 15 kali 10 pangkat 4, and then plus half times the density. The density of the fluid is 100 kilogram per meter cube. So we can conclude that the fluid is water Jadi karena massa jenisnya 1000, maka ini fluidanya adalah air 10 to the power of 3 times the velocity. The velocity is 5, yeah. But don't forget to put power of 2 after you write number 5, ya. Jadi jangan lupa diberikan apa namanya kuadrat gitu ya. And then plus rho GH, ya. Rho GH. Rho is 100, I mean 1,000 times G. Jadi G is 9.8, ya. 9.8 times H1. And in this problem, in this example, the H1 is 0, ya. Okay. This must be 0. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now let's do the same thing to the right side, ya. Jadi kita lakukan hal yang sama untuk yang sebelah kanan. P2, yeah, the P2 is something that we are going to find, okay, and then a half times rho. The rho is 100, 1,000, I mean, and then V2 the power of 2 is 10 to the power of 2 plus rho is 10 to the power of 3. The G is 9.8 times H2. The H2 is 2. Okay. And you can use your calculator, then you can find the value of P. Yeah, you can calculate this first, yeah, and then also you can calculate this first. I mean, you can calculate this first, and then you do the calculation for this one. Yeah, let's say the result of this one is A, and then the result of this one is B. Yeah. Oops. So it will be A here, and then plus plus B. Okay. And then the value of P2 is A minus B. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this one is some simple example of application of Bernoulli equation in our daily life. Yeah. So it will be very applicable in calculating about the moving fluid inside the elevated pipe, ya. Jadi sangat berguna untuk menghitung pergerakan fluida, ya, pergerakan fluida pada pipa yang mengalami kenaikan atau mungkin penurunan juga, ya, tergantung arah daripada gerakan daripada pipa ini. Okay, that's for the conservation of energy. Yeah. Now we continue to how to say, wing and lift. Yeah. Application of fluid motion. Okay, but before I continue to this subtopic, if you have any question, so please you can raise your hand up or you can chat on the chat room. Oke, silahkan kalau misalnya ada yang ingin bertanya, bisa mengangkat tangan atau chat, ya, di kolom komentar, ya. Okay, so no question so far, yeah. Let's continue. Okay, so this one is the application of fluid motion, yeah. I mean the basic, yeah. Actually, there are a lot of applications in fluid motion, yeah. But in this case, we are going to try, yeah, to make some examples, yeah. Not some example actually, only one example, yeah. In the application of wing and lift, ya. Jadi aplikasi untuk fluid motion ini beberapa gitu ya. Salah satunya ada di penggunaan sayap ya. Sayap pesawat maksudnya. So let's say I have an aeroplane here. Let's say I have an aeroplane here. Okay, sorry for my bad drawing ya. And then I cut this one ya. I cut it. Jadi saya potong ya. And then I see from the perspective of cross section. Jadi saya melihat dari sisi pandang penampang ya, penampang potongnya ya. So I will get something like this ya. Nah, so this one is, nah, okay. The reason why the aeroplane designer yeah make a make a wing like this. Yeah, the reason is because yeah the reason is because okay, I will make it simpler. If I have a profile like this, jadi kalau misalnya saya punya benda gitu ya, profil yang seperti ini, kemudian saya gerakkan, ya, saya gerakkan sehingga dia memiliki kecepatan gitu ya. Jadi sini ada angin, saya gerakkan gitu ya, saya gerakkan ke arah sana, ya, saya gerakkan ke arah sana. So I move this wing profile ya from right to left, ya. Jadi dari kanan ke kiri. And because the profile of the wing is like this, so the fluid, the fluid will move like this. Yeah. Nah, this is the streamline of the air ya. Jadi ini adalah streamline-nya atau apa ya, profil atau pola ya, pola angin yang terbentuk gitu ya. Jadi dia mengikuti polanya seperti ini. Nah, yang atas dia akan lurus ya. Ya. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the wing, ya, the profile is like this. It's just strike forward ya. Jadi yang bawah ini dia anginnya lurus. Ya. Nah, let's say at the up of at the up surface of the wing, ya, let's say we call it with point one. Ya, jadi yang di sebelah atas itu kita anggap sebagai point satu, and then at the bottom surface of the wing is point number two. Ya, jadi yang ini adalah titik nomor dua. Ya, if we make a measurement of the velocity, ya, in point one, ya, then what we get is that the velocity in the up surface of the wing will be higher compared to the velocity of the air at the bottom of the of the wing ya. Jadi kecepatan pada titik satu, kecepatan udara pada titik satu itu dia akan lebih tinggi daripada kecepatan udara pada titik dua. Gitu ya. Jadi kalau saya beri gambar ya, maka V V1 ya, mana kecepatan 1, sementara ini adalah V2 ya. Karena profilnya seperti ini ya, maka yang V1 itu kecepatannya lebih tinggi daripada yang V2 ya. And this one will be explained more ya, actually in fluid dynamic ya, or in aerodynamic. Jadi sebenarnya ini akan dijelaskan lebih lanjut di mata kuliah aerodinamika ya, dan dinamika fluida ya, in the next semester ya, in the third or in the fourth semester ya. Jadi di semester 3 atau di semester 4 ya. And especially for aerodynamics, you will get ya in the seventh semester ya, if you put or if you take the course ya, untuk yang aerodinamika itu kalau memang milihnya penjurusannya ke aerodinamika ya, maka nanti akan dipilih gitu ya. And also you will get lab works ya for this one. Jadi ada praktikum juga untuk mengetahui fenomena ini gitu ya. Oke. Okay. And because the profile of the streamline is like this ya. Jadi ada pembengkokan ya, karena kan dia mengikuti alurnya ya, mengikuti bentuk daripada sayap ya. So in the point 1, the velocity will be higher than point 2. And then ya, if the velocity 1 is higher than velocity 2, then what we can conclude? We can conclude that the pressure ya, the pressure in point 1 will smaller than the pressure of point 2 ya. Let's say I have this one is P1 and then this one is P2, and P2 will higher than P1 ya. So that's why, because P2 is higher than P1, then the wing will move up ya. The wing will move up ya. Because the pressure of the bottom, the pressure on the bottom surface of the wing is higher than the pressure on the surface of the wing ya. Jadi tekanannya karena lebih tinggi yang bawah gitu ya, maka dia menyebabkan pesawat ini naik gitu ya. Jadi kan yang atas tekanannya kecil, yang bawah tekanannya besar, jadi dia akan terbang ke atas gitu ya. Nah, jadi dalam aplikasi fluid motion ini kita nanti diminta gitu ya untuk mencari kira-kira seberapa bentuknya ini ya, bentuknya apa namanya, sayapnya ini yang baik seperti apa. Because if you check ya, if you check on Google, let's say, there are a lot of wing profile ya. Jadi banyak tipe atau desain daripada sayap gitu ya. Nah, you can check it ya in NACA or NACA, in NACA database ya. And there are a lot of wing profile ya. Start from NACA 0009 or NACA 0012, and a lot of database ya. And this one is the profile of the wing ya. And you can make your own ya. And you can find which one is the most efficient ya. Because as we know that the profile of wing must give effectiveness to the aeroplane ya. So when your aeroplane want to take off ya, that you have to put the right wing ya. So the energy to take off or for landing ya, is the most effective one ya. Jadi nanti dipilih gitu ya profilnya yang paling bagus yang mana, sehingga itu bisa hemat energi ya. Dan ini juga bisa membuat sendiri sebenarnya ya, nanti dengan memasukkan, ada rumusnya ya, dan nanti rumusnya bisa dicek gitu ya. Let's say NACA formula. Ya. Nah, NACA 4-digit airfoil generator. Nah, you can put lot of things here, yeah. And this one will be explained more in aerodynamic if you want to focus yourself on this kind of disiplin ya. Jadi kalau emang mau fokusnya ke sini ya diserahkan nanti bisa merancang profil daripada sayap pesawat terbang gitu ya. Oke. Okay, now let's continue. I think this is the last part of the fluid motion, because it's just last part ya. Jadi ini hanya bagian terakhir. Jadi memang tidak banyak seperti dua pertemuan sebelumnya. So I'm going to tell you about laminar. Laminar and turbulence. Okay. So what is laminar and what is turbulence? So let's say I have a pipe here. And then the laminar flow. So this one is kinds of flow. Jadi ini adalah contoh daripada aliran. Jadi aliran itu dibagi menjadi dua. Jadi ada laminar dan ada turbulence. So flow can be divided mostly into laminar and turbulence. And this one is for laminar. So if you have a pipe, then the profile of streamline is strike forward. So you can call it with laminar. Jadi alirannya teratur. But if you have turbulent, so let's say this one is the pipe, then the profile of streamline will be like this. Will be not not uniform, non-uniform. Okay, so I will give you some example in YouTube, let's say. And laminar and turbulent flow, Okay. Nah, this one in wind tunnel wind tunnel. Jadi wind tunnel itu adalah semacam terowongan terowongan untuk ngecek untuk ngecek. Nah, ini let's say no ya. Nah, this one. Okay, not a good example, Let's say find the other one. Nah, okay, this one is very good. Okay. Wait a moment. Okay. Nah, this one is laminar flow, The sign of laminar flow is the flow is good. I mean the flow is uniform, The flow is very straightforward. Jadi alirannya itu dia rapi, gitu Rapi, Nah, wait a moment. Nah, in this point, it called turbulence, because there is not very good. Nah, this one is turbulence, Yeah, so this one is laminar, and then in this point it is turbulence. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And we have the tools to to measure this one ya. Jadi kita punya alatnya gitu ya. Cuma tidak sebesar ini ya, tapi dia kecil ya. Nanti yang dimasukkan itu bukan bukan yang asli ya, bukan ukuran asli tapi ukuran miniaturnya. Nanti akan ada praktikum tentang itu ya. Jadi di lab ada alatnya, namanya wind tunnel ya, atau terowongan angin gitu ya. Nah, this one is laminar, and then this one is turbulent. Yeah, this is turbulent, but for this one, yeah, in this area, it is laminar. Yeah, because the airflow is very uniform. Yeah. Okay. Now, now how we calculate? Yeah, how we calculate and how we differentiate between the airflow of turbulence and the airflow of laminar. Yeah. In physics, yeah, we have something called Reynolds number. Yeah. Reynolds number. Ya. Nah, Reynolds number. Nah, oke. Okay. Ya. Nah, oops. Nah, this one is called Reynolds number. Yeah. So if you have, yeah, using this kind of calculation, and you find that the RE, or the Reynolds number of your calculation, is under 2000, ya, then the flow will be laminar ya. Jadi kalau misalnya hasil perhitungan ini ya, RE-nya adalah kurang dari 2000, maka dia laminar ya. Kalau lebih dari 4000, if your Reynolds result ya, is higher than 4000, then the flow will be turbulence. Yeah. And between 2000 and 4000, yeah, the flow will be called as unstable flow. Yeah, so it can change. Yeah, sometimes the flow is laminar, and then another time, yeah, the flow is turbulence. Yeah, and this one is the formula to find the Reynolds number. Yeah, the one is velocity. Yeah, kecepatannya gitu ya, kecepatannya. But this one is not in international standard ya, because the velocity in international standard unit must be meter per second ya, and then the diameter inside diameter, it must be in meter ya, and then kinematic velocity, kinematic viscosity must be in meter square per second ya. And the kinematic viscosity is kind of material karakteristik ya. Jadi untuk kinematic viscosity ini atau kekentalan kinematik itu adalah nilai dari suatu karakter ya, nilai dari suatu sifat material. Jadi bisa berbeda-beda. Ya. And then the RE is the Reynolds number itself. Okay, so this one is to find out the kind of flow, yeah, whether it's laminar, turbulent, or even unstable. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all, yeah, for our meeting today. Yeah. And yeah, I'm sorry, it's very quick actually, yeah, because yeah, it's only four slides, yeah, because on the next meeting we are going to uh, talk about new topic ya, about heat and temperature ya. Jadi besok kita akan membahas tentang suhu dan panas gitu ya. Okay, if you have any questions, so please raise your hands up, or you can put your question on chat room ya. Yeah, okay. So I think no questions so far. So if you have any question, you can just contact me directly. You can know. I mean, you know your my WhatsApp number ya. So you can just text me. Jadi kalau ada pertanyaan silahkan langsung saja bisa hubungi saya gitu ya melalui WhatsApp. Kalau mungkin belum ada pertanyaan saat ini. Oke, baik. Terima kasih. Also, thanks for your attendance today. I hope you can understand what I am talking about. Yeah, if you have any question, you can just still ask me. And if I got any misspell of English, ya, kalau Inggrisnya kurang bagus, ya mohon maaf. Saya akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.